go. All right. I didn't get that setting set up, but that's okay. Hey, welcome to the Friday morning live stream. I'm excited because today's stream, you should be noticing it. Today should be crispy. It should be crispy on how everything looks. I should be looking good, hopefully. And I should be sounding good too. On my end, everything looks good. So I think we got that covered. I need to bring this light down because it is bright. Bright. But hey, I'm Matt with sowcincy. Welcome to this edition of the Bible study live stream on Friday. We are doing questions for Jesus. And today's question is going to be, why are they breaking the law by harvesting the grain of Sabbath? Go ahead. We are going to pull this up so that we can see it. There we go. Bing, bang, boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we have. So we're going to be in Mark 2, verses 23 through the rest of the chapter. 28 there. So it says, one Sabbath day, as Jesus was walking through some grain fields, his disciples began breaking off heads of grain to eat. But the Pharisees said to Jesus, "Look, why are they breaking the law by harvesting grain on the Sabbath?" Jesus said to them, "Haven't you ever read in the scriptures what David did when he and his companions were hungry? He went into the house of God during the days when Abiathar, I don't know if that's right, was high priest, and broke the law by eating the sacred loaves of bread that only the priests are allowed. He also gave some to his companions." Then Jesus said to them, "The Sabbath was made to meet the needs of people, and not people to meet the requirements of the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is Lord even over the Sabbath." Bing, bang, boom. So the question that these Pharisees, the people, asked Jesus were, why are they breaking the law, harvesting grain? So the question is, why are they breaking the law? And how are they doing that? By harvesting grain. So was it really about harvesting grain? Sabbath? No, about breaking of the Sabbath. And so when you read this, Jesus gave them the answer. The Sabbath was made to meet the needs of people, and not people to meet the requirements of Sabbath. So that brings me to this question. What is the Sabbath? Let's look it up. There it is. This is what I was referring to. If you watched Wednesday's, I believe it was Proverbs 3, they were asking the question, or there was a website that I'd mentioned, but I could not remember the name of it. It is gotquestions.org. It's a great website that you can go in. You can see what questions they asked. You can see things have been talked about in the past, and you can ask your own. And so it's pretty cool. So when I'm looking for something, someone asked me a question like, "What is this? What does this mean?" I go to this website to be like, "Well, what are they saying it is?" Because they usually give like a pretty simple, easy to understand answer. And so let's see. They have a video. So it says, according to Exodus 20, 8 through 11, the Sabbath is the seventh day of the week on which the children of Israel were to rest in remembrance that God created the universe in 6 days and then rested on the seventh day. However, due to the misunderstanding and misinterpretation of Christian groups, the meaning of the Sabbath day rest has been. So in Exodus 20, it reads, it's from the English Standard, it says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor, do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your male servant or your female servant." your daughter, your male servant, your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gate. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Blessed the Sabbath day and made it. So the command, Exodus 20, isn't to do Sabbath. It's to remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy, special, to keep it set apart. Exodus 20 was I believe, one of the original meanings of the Sabbath. So, Sabbath is a practice, according to John Mark Comer and their organization, Practicing the Way. And they have, if you're looking into more details about what is Sabbath, I would highly, highly recommend them. I know you don't want to hear this, but your sound is a little jerky and it's not. Okay, we'll figure it out. Thank you, Mick, for if we can. It might be you. It might be you because I have the stream up on my phone and it sounds fine. So it might be. I maybe reset the YouTube app and see, or you might just be right on with it with the stream. So just some thoughts. But anyways, if you're listening to the podcast right now, the reason why I just said that is because I'm also on YouTube Live. So you're getting the audio version of what you're hearing on YouTube. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, John Mark Comer. If you're looking into some modern day understandings of the Sabbath and things like the Bible app, YouVersion's Bible app has a Bible study plan called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, based off his book that he wrote. I think it's a 7-day plan. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful plan. The book is even better, goes more in depth, more in detail. But the whole idea around the Sabbath and his thoughts for people to do the Sabbath as they remember is so that it's to I believe stop, rest, delight, and worship, something like that. Like, I don't know if the fourth one is worship. I do know that stop, rest, and delight. And so the whole idea around Sabbath is just to be in the moment, be present, be something that you are just, it might not be doing nothing, but a friend of ours here in Cincinnati said when he was talking about the Sabbath, he said he was telling me, he was like Matt, what you need to do in Sabbath is to find something where you're doing something recreationally. We use that word a lot, recreation. But what he said is recreation is just recreating. So he said there's probably, and he's a prophetic type. So like when he doesn't really know me that well, but when he was talking to me, it was pretty on point. He was like what you need to do is you need to find something that you have joy as you recreate. So that's recreationally. And so in that season, I was big into doing woodwork, and it had been a minute since I had been doing woodwork. And so I took that to heart, and I bought some wood, and I made something. I can't remember what it was, but I had, so even though that is work, I had joy in doing it because it was me taking some time to myself just to stop to do something with my hands, to get creative. And just, even though it's taxing, I love it so much. It's something that allows me to stop from the everyday stuff to even though it's active, I was resting in it, if that makes sense. And I was delighting in it, as it's something that God has been a gift and a talent that he has given me, to be able to create stuff with my hands out of wood, something that I enjoy. And so for you, that might be something. So what is it that recreates your relationship with the Holy Spirit as you stop, rest, delight, and worship on a Sabbath day. And you might say to yourself, and this is what a practice that John Mark Comer talks about, is it might be hard for you to stop for an entire day to rest and not do anything, so to speak. And I want you to know that whatever it is, like Kristen, like her one of her things is she loves uh the shows on Netflix. She gets such joy in that, especially the Great British Bake Off, and so it's what she, even though it's like watching Netflix, that's her thing that she gets into, and it just gives her a little bit of oomph in her in her step, even though watching Netflix, right? And I'm sure there's other stuff like the kids. They love playing the Switch, and so we'll play Smash Bros. Play Mario. But what I was getting into is maybe a day is too much for you. You know, can you stop, rest, and delight and worship an hour a day? Just you're just taking that time, remembering it and setting it apart to God, in order to build up that hour to being one day a week. Could that be something that you could? Would that be a good little challenge for you? That might push you a little bit as you remember the Sabbath. So what they were talking about here, as I pull this back up, when you ask the question, why are they breaking the law about harvesting ground? But it says, haven't you read in the scriptures? David did when he and his companions were hungry. He went to the house of God, broke the law by eating sacred loaves of bread. The Sabbath was made to meet the needs of people. So what is it that you need to do to stop and rest in as you practice Sabbath, so that the Sabbath will meet your need? Again, it's not something you have to do. Technically, don't have to Sabbath. Technically, people don't. A lot of people in the American church context don't Sabbath because it's not a requirement. Sabbath was made to meet. Stopping and resting was to meet your need. So, so my challenge, actually, my question to you, not a challenge, question. It's Friday, going into a weekend. I know for a lot of people, weekends can be busy. Saturdays seem to be catch-up days. And then on Sundays, for a lot of pastors, church workers, I know for myself and things like that, Sunday is not a day of rest, because it's, for if you're a pastor, you're preaching. If you're a ministry worker at a church, you're doing behind the scenes stuff. We control the live stream for, right. I do live stream for church, and so I got to get there early. I teach our men's ministry class, all these different things where I'm kind of go on a Sunday morning. So my 8 a.m., really 7 a.m., because I'm finishing up prep. 7 a.m. through about 3 p.m. I'm doing stuff, and even though I'm working, I do find joy on those Sunday mornings, because I find joy in teaching, and I find joy in the creation of podcasts and live streams and video editing. If you couldn't tell, like I really do love this. Like, it is a task, but now we got some stuff where we're set up and we're sounding. I believe we're sounding good, and all that stuff. But this is something I enjoy doing, and so I get a little bit of Sabbath rest in there, and then um, I'll take some time and on a Sunday, and you know, kids, and we'll play Switch and all that stuff. So my question to you is this weekend, can you find an hour of time where you just stop and delight in God worship, however that worship looks? You could put on a song, you could be in prayer, you could read the Bible, you could read a book about your relationship with proving that. So I'd like to push you a little bit, this weekend. It's going to be something that'll help you out. And I hope that this becomes something that is a main practice, that Sabbath really is a thing that God had designed to meet the needs, so that we're not in work mode, but that we're taking some time to rest and stop and all that stuff. So love you all. I hope you all have a great weekend. If you like the video, leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel. You can check us out everywhere on social media: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at sowcincy. It's Friday. There's football going on. Go Quips. Good luck against McKeesport or whoever y'all play. And I think that's everything. So get some resting this week. Yeah. All right. We love you. We will see you around on Monday. Have a great weekend.